Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Sorry it's been a little quiet here on the reviews this week. I've just been doing some renovations right outside this door, so it's been a little bit impossible to film. But back with the reviews today, and of course with a brand new shoe from Reebok. It's the classic leather Legacy. So without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so a huge shout out to Reebok South Africa for sending this pair through. It is a pair that I was actually going to buy myself anyway. There are a whole bunch of cool colorways on the way. So big shout out to you guys for sending this through, as this is just one of those shoes which really hits with the price point and the design and all of that kind of stuff working together to make it a really affordable and very easily obtainable shoe. Now I'm going to save the price point of these for last, as that really is just a bonus on top of what you're getting in terms of the design and the mix of old school, new school on this particular pair. So I'm going to jump straight into the review itself, starting with the outsole of it. You've got a completely crazy rubberized outsole over here. It is quite thick and deep over here, so you're getting a lot of durability over time on foot. In the heel section, as you'll notice, it does sort of a ramp up here, but we'll get into that midsole now. That is done in a blue. You've got the Reebok logo, then sort of a lattice kind of system that runs throughout there, and then these sort of knoblets all the way through the shoe, just adding a little bit more traction to the shoe itself, and all of that obviously done in black. Now flipping up into the midsole, I'm not really too sure what material this is. I think it's kind of just a polyurethane foam. As far as I understand, it's not a proprietary technology of any sort from Reebok themselves. However, it is an injection molded midsole, so that keeps the weight down on this particular pair, and you can really feel that just here in hand. And obviously this is done in a split tone over here towards the heel section, which is a slightly different texture to the rest of this midsole. That's done in a chalk color, and then obviously white throughout towards the front. One thing I did notice over here, you do have these little sort of cutouts here in the midsole. My assumption of that would really just be to add a little bit more flexibility into the midsole itself, just in that particular area where you are going to get quite a bit of flex on the shoe. Now moving into the toe box section, as you'll see, the outsole does do a bit of a turn up onto that mudguard system over here in the front. This is all done in a chalk suede, and that follows through into the heel section of the shoe there as well. So you are getting those suede hits on the shoe, just adding a bit of variance to the material mix up on this pair. And then set just behind that, the majority of the upper is done in a variance of mesh. And when I say a variance of mesh, you've just got different densities or different patterns. At least here in the toe box, you'll notice it's a little bit wider towards here in the heel and collar section, where it's a little bit more compacted over there. But either way, it's a multi-layered upper, which really gives it an awesome design treatment on this pair. And then moving further back there towards the lacing system and the eyelets, you'll notice one little hit of 3M just under that little eyelet section over there. The eyelet material here is almost like a rubberized leather just around this particular section. And then just stepping it back further to the mid panel of the shoe, you've got two layers of leather overlays here done in a glossy leather. Obviously the vector over here is done in a laser red, which really stands out against the backdrop of that chalk mesh. And then just above that, as a third layer of it, you do have a debossed Reebok logo done on a leather overlay patch stitched in. Now overall, from a design perspective of the silhouettes, they really look back towards the 70s running model. So you've got hits of the classic leather obviously, and then the Aztec as well, at least as far as I can see in this particular pair. But either way, they've basically given a modernized touch with that, but still giving you that retro feel, which in my opinion are always going to look good on feet. Just to swing into the heel section of the shoe, you do have another leather overlay over here with the Reebok branding on there done in red. And then just to the medial side of the shoe, obviously much the same as what you got on the lateral, sans the Reebok overlay logo with leather there. And then just from a lacing perspective, one set of flat white laces provided with the shoe. These little hits of blue over here in that lacing system really pop on this particular pair, obviously matching up with the heel coloring over there. And then one of my favorite details on this pair has got to be the exposed foam tongue, so there it's just really bringing that retro vibe to life. And then obviously at the top of the tongue, you've just got the Reebok classic logo, which has just been stitched in on that overlay. It's a very nice texture to that, and that's obviously done in laser red as well. And just to show you the insoles of the shoe, these are just standard Reebok insoles with the Reebok branding in the heel and done in a blue. The sock liner of the shoe, most of it's just here in the heel section, and that's just done in a standard sort of white color mesh. And then last but not least, just the Reebok classic box over here. So you've got split tone colors of navy and red, Reebok logo on top, size label over here as well. And that's just a pretty standard box as what you would expect with this release. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the review, from price point, these things are just kind of a no-brainer to me. I was planning on picking up a pair of these. I probably will actually get some of the other colorways coming soon, because they only come in at 1,399 Rand, which which in my opinion, for what you're getting on this particular pair, is very, very affordable considering the price point of majority of sneakers these days. And from a colorway perspective, as mentioned, I do definitely want to look at getting some of the other colorways coming down the line. The ones available right now, obviously there's chalk and laser red version, and then there's also a dynamic blue and sort of the yellow version over there as well. I have been privileged enough to actually have a look at some of the upcoming colorways that are going to be coming to South Africa soon, probably over the next couple of weeks or months. You never know, so keep an eye on reebok.co.za. If you obviously do want to cop one of these pairs at 1399, from a sizing perspective, I would recommend going true to size. I do have a UK 9 here, which is my true to size, and they fit me absolutely perfectly. If anything, I might just have a little bit of space in the toe, but it's not serious enough to really consider taking a full size down in these. And from a sizing availability point of view, these are available from a UK 5 to a UK 12, at least on reebok.co.za, and most probably in Reebok stores as well. But that's it for the Reebok Classic Leather Legacies. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, found it helpful. If you do have any further questions, please drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you do end up grabbing a pair of these, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this particular model from Reebok. But that is it from me, guys. If you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe right here for more content, early unboxings, and other sneaker related content down the line. But that's all from me for today, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.